I'm sitting here in 2025 commenting on the political assassination of Thomas of Becket, St. Thomas of Canterbury, or just Thomas Becket in 1170 AD, orchestrated by and ordered by Henry II, the King of England. Thomas à Becket was the Archbishop of Canterbury. They operated in two different realms, and yet those realms intersected, and there was a great confusion over whose power was whose. Henry, who became king when he was 21 years old, really cared a lot, not only about his recognition and his reputation, but about power itself and wealth and the acquisition of territory and prerogatives. Becket had mingled in politics. He had been a member of the king's court, and of course, as the church state relationships developed in England, and even to this day, there is an intertwining of realms. And yet, in England today, there's a great deal of separation of autonomy, and most of the intertwining of church and state is symbolic. However, not so in 1170, and it had to come down to who appoints whom and who gets what power. And Thomas Becket felt that he was entitled to the spiritual autonomy over the realm to which he was appointed archbishop. Henry felt like he should have the prerogative of being in charge of everything within his borders and occasionally outside of his borders. And so it was one of the early English speaking, if you can call what they spoke English in that day, uh, controversies over separation or non separation of powers, separation of church and state. So, having said that, to look at the principles and to look at the interpretations of the principles, it only took about 2 years for the Pope to declare that Thomas was a saint. And then later, the Church of England that he served as Archbishop, which later became autonomous from the Catholic Church, which is an entirely different political discussion, is the arena in which you will discuss the same matters. I kind of lost my train of thought, so I'm not sure I finished the sentence correctly, but do you understand how we continue to have this overlap whenever we are looking for power? T.S. Eliot, in his play Murder in the Cathedral, formulates temptations that come to Thomas Becket in the light of him seeing the handwriting on the wall that Henry's going to come and get him. Again, I mentioned Henry was a kid when he became the King of England. He was a kid. And so in the end, he says, I could do the right thing for the wrong reason. In other words, to achieve martyrdom. And he said, it is a great treason to do the right thing for the wrong reason. In the end, he does the right thing. I think the picture of Henry, and this is an eyewitness to the events of the time, or at least a contemporary, who says, Henry refuses to, I'm sorry, Thomas refuses. The nice thing about podcasts is you just let your mistakes go. When you misspeak, you just let it be a part of your legacy. Thomas refuses to board up the cathedral. He continues with his religious duties. He declares that he will not make the house of prayer a fortress. He will not do that. He will not play that game. And so they come in, they disrupt his religious duties and services, and they kill him. And they kill him till he's dead. I mean, they kill him. In Hebrew, you say the word killed, katal, twice. And he killed him. And which my Hebrew professor says he killed him graveyard dead. Well, the lust for power, the need to acquire power, The need for reputation, the need to put your name on everything, may I suggest, because that may be your only real skill in life and business and politics is selling your name, your branding. Henry wanted to sell his branding in the quest for more power and more authority and more wealth and more territory and more influence. That lust met up with the resistance and the righteous resistance, I believe, of Thomas of Becket, who becomes a hero of resistance and a hero of drawing the line and saying, this realm over which I have been made a shepherd is God's realm. It is the realm of conscience, and it is a place where I will not bend. I invite you to make your own applications to our times. But I will say this, if somebody reflects upon all of this 1,000 years from now, and we're still human 1,000 years from now, the issues will be very similar because they're at the root of our human nature, which is at the root of our continuing struggle in the body politic between conscience of faith and of morality and ethics and lust for power. That's it for now.